how the forum will be structured. So we hope to work through as many questions as possible, given our about hour allotment that we will be in this room. So candidates will have 90 seconds for each answer. Amy Neal will be timekeeping throughout all of the questions. And again, this is a forum, not a debate, so the candidates will be answering the questions to you, the audience, not as much engaging with one another and debating issues back and forth. We are excited to say that all of the questions we are asking tonight are different than the ones that appeared in the candidate questionnaires in the Courier Tribune a few weeks ago. And additionally, all of the questions were either submitted tonight before the forum or emailed to our staff in the last week and a half. So we ask the candidates please adhere to the time limits and pay attention to those cards as they are counting down your seconds. We also ask the audience to hold off applause until the very end of the forum so we can try to work through as many of these questions as possible. Candidates at the end of questions will have a 1-minute closing statement each, and then after that we will move into some brief introductions of the municipal candidates who will also appear on the April 4th ballot. So again, thank you for being here tonight, and we will jump into our first question. The first question tonight, and I will read it twice, what can the district do to better partner with the city and businesses to spur economic development in Smithville? What can the district do to better partner with the city and businesses to spur economic development in Smithville? And Russell, you will be the first one up for this question, and we will move down in the order that we set up, and we will operate on that order the entire evening.
Okay, well, that is a very important question. When I ran in 2008, the assessed value for, the percent of assessed value in the district was about 11% for commercial property. Now I see it's down to about 9.5%. That is very important because the more commercial property we have in the district, the easier it is on homeowners in terms of the tax burden. So it's very critical that we do get more economic and business development in the city. The question is, how does the school do it? You know, the school is not in the business of economic development. You know, we are, we must adhere to our mission, which is education. Now, helping that though is we do have our superintendent, Dr. Schutz, has been appointed to the Economic Development Committee here at Smithville, so hopefully we can provide some ideas for development. The best thing I think we can do as a district is make certain we continue to have a wonderful, highly valued district. We always have people from real estate business tell us the reason people want to move to Smithville is because of the quality school system. Well, you're not going to get businesses in Smithville if you don't have a quality school system. Businesses want employees want to live in a great spot where there's good education. So from our point of view of the school district, I think the best we can do is continue to have a wonderful school district.
Economic growth in Smithville is what's really going to drive the funding moving forward for school projects. I think it's going to come to a point where, at least as things lay now, that as we go on, funding is going to be less and less from government sources. We're going to have to, at some point, become more self-sustaining. The best way to drive the economy is, in simple math, to increase the population. The more people we have, the more businesses we'll have a need for, and the more companies that will be willing to move here. To do that, the first step was we needed more rooms in the schools. We're growing too quick, the space was drying up, teachers are overloaded. We've got to have the room to be able to successfully educate and to move through the school system with that extra population. So to that point, I think what Russell was kind of hinting at, it is very circular. As far as additional things on the side, without getting too much into legalities, you know, maybe some more advertising involving the sports events. They're always a huge draw. If companies know they're going to get a lot of exposure, they may be more inclined to do business here. So I think there may be some avenues, and we're going to have to get creative, but I think there may be some avenues there that maybe we can tap into that previously were thought to be too far outside the box.
Well, from the time in the past when I served on the Board of Aldermen, I think the city and the school district have always had a very good working relationship and have always tried to work together on projects. And I think it's wonderful that the superintendent is on the Economic Development Committee because that further cements the relationship that the city and the school district have. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You want to increase the commercial and residential population of Smithville, but as soon as you do that, it increases the load on the school district. So it's good one way and not so good the other way. But as long as the school district and the city work together to increase the desirability of Smithville and the surrounding area as a place to live and work and shop, then more businesses and light industries and things of that nature should come in. I know the city's working on a project to expand the infrastructure and improve the infrastructure of the city, and that can only help in economic development. So I think going down the path that we're going down now is probably a good idea, and it seems to be working well, and I wouldn't see changing that.
For the past 3 years during my first term on the board, I've served on a city board partnership committee to where on a quarterly basis, the first Monday of February, May, August, and November, the city leaders and 3 members of the board and the superintendent, we sit down and we discuss issues that are happening with the city and with the schools, and just kind of brainstorm ideas that can be positive for both entities. Right now, like I said, growing up in this town and just seeing the way the school has grown, seeing the way this small little town is growing into a small city, it's still kind of sad though to see that the school is one of the biggest businesses in the city of Smithville. And you may not look at the school as a business, but it is. It is a huge operational business whose main responsibility is educating the children of this community. And I think that as far as going forward in the future, just continuing to be the district that a lot of people are wanting to be in. The reason we see a lot of the questionnaires that go out, the reason we see a lot of the people that are moving into the district is for the school itself. And I think that says a lot for the way the district has been run in the past and continues to be run.
This is a great question because as we see through other rural communities throughout Missouri and throughout the Midwest, a lot of rural communities end up experiencing a brain dump. And so it's really good, as everyone else has pointed out, the main part for Smithville is to make sure we have quality schools because that is going to bring people back when they graduate and it's going to bring their families here. So we have a further increase in population, which will also bring in businesses, and which will take the load, as Russell also said, off the taxpayers because we'll have extra income. Also, it's also great that the district has people in committees, as their superintendent, working with the city council. So really the best way to work with the city council and with the district and the school is to obviously have the best school district that we can in order for people to come back when they graduate.
Okay, being last, I don't know what there is left to say. But one of the things I have to do with everybody is that, Smithville schools are quality schools. They provide a good education for our students. They provide a good place to work for a lot of teachers and staff that support our schools here, to support our children, and that's important. And I think one of the things we need to do is we need to maintain the relationship that we have with the city and keep that open door policy between the city and the school district, so that if there is an issue, if there is a problem, whether it's the district problem or if it's a city problem, that we can work together to be able to accomplish anything that we come across that might be an obstacle for growth in this area. One of the things that I would really like to see is maybe there's a way that we can partner with the city to be able to share facilities of some type. You know, there's you know, patrons that would like to see swimming or tennis in this district. If we would be able to share resources with the city and not have that full burden on one entity or the other, you know, maybe that's something that we could look at in the future.
Okay, moving on to our second